Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing my 1-year anniversary of my Vigorpool Captain 1200. Bought it about a year ago and paid about 900 bucks for it. It's a lot cheaper now and they do run sales. I do like it quite a bit. In fact, I bought this other one here, which is going to be discussed in a future video, but you can actually parallel these two together to double the output and double the battery capacity. But I wanted to do a quick video just detailing how I used it over the last year. I also want to tell you some of the good things, some of the bad things, some of the quirky things. So basically for the last year, I used this for about 4 months in a camper that I was boondocking in, and it was one of 2 power stations that I used to power the camper. I backfed it through the 12 volt here. Definitely know, you want to make sure you know what you're doing before you do something like that. You could also power it through the AC inverter, which is in the back. That would definitely do it too, just a little less efficiently. So anyway, this thing has held up really well. There are some scratches on it, so that's just, completely superficial. I have this thing tied down with these really nice grab handles. Probably not how it's recommended to be used, but that's how I used it. That's just the kind of guy I am, I guess. So let's do a little tour. I'll drop the dimensional specs on the screen here. I will also put a link to where you can buy this directly through Vigorpool and Amazon. If Vigorpool sees this video and they want to give a coupon to the viewers, I will also update the video description with that. Anyway, let's get into it. Here is a very nice screen. What you can actually see on the screen during different states right now, it's nighttime, so I can't really do a solar charging on it, but this side here is the discharge. This is how many watts are coming into the device, no matter which way you're doing this. It has some USB ports here, 2 of them, and then it also has 2 USB-C ports, which are rated at 100 watts each, which is awesome. You can turn that section off that is in this square with this button. You can turn this section off, which is in this square with that button, and this is your 12 volt, like regular cigarette lighter. Little rubber plug there, 2 barrel connectors. Pretty nice, fairly standard for power stations. You see the little icon here light up. It says car. That refers to this. You don't actually have to hook it up to a car, but it just kind of mimics one. And then the USB icon there. This is the state of charge of the battery. When it is actually charging up, you'll see it go around in a circle, kind of like a computer would, I suppose. Down here on the bottom is this cover. Probably an area where I would recommend that this might be improved. I don't really like how it opens up like that. I'm going to tilt it up so the camera can see it a little bit better. And then, as you can see here, this is the AC plug. So there's no brick, power brick. You can plug this right into your house and it will charge this device up to 800 watts, which will be a little less than 2 hours to charge this from dead because it has 1280 watt hours. Here is the circuit breaker reset button. Here is the car charger. This is the DC input, so it's 12 to, I believe, 52 volts. And then this would be, so you could plug right into the car charger or your solar. It does not come with the solar cable, but you can purchase that separate from Vigorpool, or you can choose other options on Amazon. This is a ground screw. I've never used that. Here is an example of the Anderson power pole connector that you would use to connect in there. I have one with some MC4 connectors. That's how I currently use it. I use it now to charge, or actually to run some sensitive computer electronics, and I use the built-in UPS uninterruptible power supply feature about twice a day, and it has never failed me once, which is really awesome. You can see this little Wi-Fi icon. That means that it can run off of Wi-Fi. It also has Bluetooth. I found it works a little better off the Wi-Fi with the app, just because you can actually update the firmware on it. The Bluetooth said it couldn't. Not sure really what that means, but anywho, that is the front. Now let's go to the top. You'll see a charging pad, which can be activated and deactivated with the app. So let's move to the side here. Both sides look identical. Pretty much there is this really awesome flashlight, and it goes low, bright, flash, flash, and then nothing. Nice vents. It has a couple of big fans in the back, which you probably will not be able to see on the video. Maybe if I tilt it right, you can kind of see the center of the fans. Those fans are pretty big, which is great because it's really quiet. Vigorpool's website says 39 decibels. I don't have a decibel meter, but I would agree with that statement. It is quite quiet. So this here is the AC plugs, which can be turned on by hitting that button there. It's a pure sine wave 1200 watt inverter. You may have heard the relay click on there, and that can be turned on and off with the app. This big giant circle thing is a rubber plug for the parallel connector. That is purchased separately. Okay, so it comes in a box like that. I'm gonna guess that's a proprietary type connection. This will allow you to connect two of these together, which I have not done before, but it can be done, and that'll be in a separate video. Very thick cable. It actually says on here 14 gauge. Not sure if the camera is going to pick that up, but there you go. Anyway, that doubles the capacity and doubles the output. It does have a little manual here, and it's in several different languages, but basically it tells you how to plug it in. You plug it and then you turn it to lock it into place, it looks like, and then you connect both of them. It says to have the AC inverter off when you plug it in, and then when you do plug it in, then you can turn the AC inverter on. Anywho, gives the warnings there if you'd like to pause it and read it. Okay, so that concludes the tour. I'm going to do a little cut in with some screenshots of the app. It's a pretty nice app overall. It allows you to turn on and off all the different functions. You can monitor the device through Wi-Fi, which means you can monitor it anywhere in the world, which is very cool. A couple of things that I would improve on the app. I would have not just the current state of charge, like the screen shows here, but maybe some way that you can see how much is coming in and out of the device. It does not have that currently. It's on version 2. Maybe that's something they'll incorporate in the future, but it's perfectly capable for monitoring and being able to turn on and off the different options that are on here. So overall, I think it's pretty good. I've used it with a multitude of different solar panels, which is by far my favorite way to do this, with some nice MC4 connectors. I've hooked them up to 4 Renogy panels because it has a maximum of a 400 watt input, and I've done those in different types of serial and parallel configurations. Also used it with a single 18 volt Dokio 300 watt panel. Also worked fantastic with that. I've never used the Vigorpool brand of solar panel. I did buy one, but I haven't tried it out yet, so that'll be a future video. Okay, so let's talk about my favorite part of this, which currently is the fact that this will prioritize solar input. What does that mean? That means when you have this front connected to both solar and AC, it will prioritize the solar. So there are 2 settings on the input charge, which I think is something they could possibly modify for the future. You can set it to slow charge, which is 200 watts, or you can set it to fast charge, which is 800 watts. I would like it to be somewhere in between, maybe a third option or a slider where you can do more. But anyway, when you do have it plugged in and I'm getting, let's say, 150 watts of solar, and then I plug in the AC and I have it set to slow charge, which is a 200 watt limit, what it will do is it'll pull 150 watts from the solar and it'll make up the other 50 watts with the AC. I really like that for my current setup. Okay, so let's talk about who this is actually going to be good for. If you're at home and you don't do camping or anything, this is actually kind of a nice unit. It's very portable. You can lift it with one hand, carry it with 2, and it would run your fridge for many hours. If you supplemented that with solar, it would get many more beyond that. The other person would be small camper, van, minivan. When I was using it, I was actually using it for work. So I was running a laptop and a monitor for several hours a day, and then also running the camper heater and a couple of lights. So it really wasn't doing much, but it was able to keep up with that in the winter, just being powered by solar, which at that point I was running 400 watts. Appreciate you watching. I'll have other videos on the parallel connection here, and then hopefully some hiking videos and things like that in the future. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a great day.